Don't even ask me what we're serving them during the break. All right, you don't even want to know. All right, welcome back. So in the book, I write about investing vehicles beyond the stock market in Chapter 6 of Unbreakable Investor. In fact, according to a survey by Motley Fool, all kinds of investments, right, are out there for you. And I think in this particular generation, you think about things like crypto, of course, stocks and mutual funds. But in the book, I also talk about precious metals. And if you got gold, you're really happy about it. But also collectibles, handbags, sneakers, and watches. Super duper hot and popular among young investors. And I've got two very special guests who are in the thick of both of those growing investment movements. I want to start now with For the Culture co-founder, Jean-Luc. Jean-Luc, the sneakers. First of all, how did you get into sneakers and saying as an investment, and how do you make money from it?
Sure. So I got into shoes. I was probably around 13 years old. At the time, I had no money, and my parents essentially said, when you can start working, you start having your own money, then you can start investing into shoes. And at the time, they didn't understand it. They're like, I don't understand how a shoe can be making you money. It's just a pair of sneakers. You're wearing it, right? It depreciates over time. I said, no, you're not going to, you want to understand it, right? And so, flash forward 10 years, I ended up starting my own convention centered around buying, selling, and trading shoes. And, they came to the show and they're like, I understand it now. There's a marketplace. There's people that are actually buying these high value items that, you generally would think is just a depreciating, consumable, but it really isn't.
I know there's sneaker exchanges going up, national, international. This is not just a local thing. This is a global investment boom and phenomenon. So someone in the audience, if they were saying, okay, I want to get started, how would they get started? Like, is there a particular shoe, sneaker, company or something that, okay, this is a great one to start with?
Yeah, I would definitely say that, in terms of, outlets to kind of look for in terms of finding information on what's hot and what's not. Definitely companies like StockX, Go, eBay that have real-time data that people can actually see what's selling and what's not. Also social media, as well as going to conventions like mine where you can actually go at a low cost or no cost in some cases to experience what exactly this market is and kind of understand what the trends are within it.
Right. Jean-Luc, congratulations, man. Good stuff.
Thank you so much.
You turned a childhood dream into reality. Good stuff. All right, let's switch to watches. Ben Cook is with us. I'm a watch guy. Got on one of my favorites here. This is called the Freak. I showed Ben, he almost fainted. No.
It's not, I love it. I do love it, yeah.
So this is so hot. I mean, I saw my son in high school, and he was in 12th grade, him and his friends. I did not believe that they were into watches as much as they were. What's going on with this?
So for me, at least, it started in 2020 during COVID, and a lot of the resale prices went crazy, especially on things like Rolex, which I'm assuming and a lot of people realize. And then all of a sudden now, like, the prices have kind of come down, but people have been viewing them as investments, especially since Paul Newman's Daytona sold for a couple $1 million. And now people are looking at a watch, like me, when I was buying a $1,000 watch. If I buy it, is it going to lose $500 in value? And they're really concerned.
And you've got these watches here that you brought with you. You consider these investments, and they're all under $5,000. 4 of them are under $5,000.
4 of them are under $5,000. I don't necessarily view watches as investments, but almost store value, which you could be an investment, like when you're buying.
So you enjoy it, and then we need to get rid. If you need to get rid of it, you don't.
You
take
can get some money back.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what's the most popular right now?
Most popular right now, I think, at that under $5,000 price segment would be Tudor. Tudor has been great. They're actually the sister brand to Rolex, which a lot of people don't realize, and they're like half the price of a Rolex. So this is the Tudor Black Bay Monochrome. It came out last year, and it's about $5,000, where a Tudor or a Rolex Submariner would be $10,000.
Right.
And then you can even look at it from the investment point of view, even though I don't look at them like that. This is a Tudor Submariner from 1974, pretty much like the precursor to this. This sold for $300 in 1974. It's now worth about $15,000.
So Randy when did you start coming on the show?
When I was around 17 or 18 years old. It was around 2020, and I thank you every day for it, Charles.
Yeah, so I don't know, Randy, again, I saw her somewhere and like, crypto. I'm like, oh, look at this teenage girl talking about crypto. She was right? In fact, take a look at this. This is a performance of major assets going back to 2013. Number one, Bitcoin. I mean, it's just amazing. And then there's other crypto assets also. And, this is a major part of investing. And now, of course, Wall Street's getting on the bandwagon, $4.2 billion. I don't even know what this number is, but it looks like it would be like 40 billion in just a few years. And finally, the scarcity of Bitcoin. As years go on and there's less of it, it becomes scarcer and scarcer. But this is what, Randy, you were telling me this, though, like 5 years ago.
That in Bitcoin. By April 2020, I was 17, and I started my handle, Miss Teen Crypto, started posting, and then met people like you, and now I'm here at 22 years old, and more grateful than ever. I'm here to educate.
More people obviously getting involved. Wall Street's getting involved. Now, I'm kind of a little skeptical at Wall Street because Wall Street hated Bitcoin and now it loves Bitcoin. And anytime Wall Street loves something, I get nervous. I'm just saying, you know. How do you feel about these major funds and these huge folks getting involved? Is it a stamp of approval, or because this is supposed to be sort of not a renegade currency, but sort of an anti-establishment thing?
Well, this is a revolution, Charles, that Wall Street knows if they don't get in now, then they might miss out. And you were talking about the time machine before. We don't need to go back in time. We're here in the present, and we're still very early with Bitcoin. And it's a permissionless space, so who are we to give permission